Hello. Thank you. So why does one become an entrepreneur? Is there always an origin story? Is it a belief? Is it an idea? Why do we do this to ourselves? Is it some fascination with getting validation, money, recognition, survival, opportunity, instinct, family legacy, impressing a loved one, a calling, an opportunity, or a passion? Hi everyone, I'm Sahil Baweja, and I've been an entrepreneur for almost all of these reasons I just listed. And today I'm here to tell you my story, my journey, from a college dropout entrepreneur to an INSEAD MBA venture capitalist, from running a media startup in Hollywood to selling coffee in Punjab and to now running a bar with Sunny Leone. I consider myself a survivor of entrepreneurship. And I don't mean survival in a very morose context. The biggest skill an entrepreneur can have is the ability to be able to define your own success and to redefine your own success, to figure out how you will make sense of this world when you're on this journey. And success is not apparent. It's not one-dimensional, it's not clear. And on a day-to-day basis, this is what an entrepreneur struggles with. It's a clouded journey of figuring out what happens to me in the day-to-day. And today I'm here to share my versions of success with you and hope they're of help. So born in Ludhiana, I grew up in Delhi, and I always struggled to find my calling in life. Self-exploration took me to Los Angeles, and I was there to study computer science, but I ended up studying everything else, from pre-med biology to Greek mythology, and I never found life's answers. And then I fell in love. I lost all my sleep, my emotional connect was deep, I was into it, I dropped out of college, I skipped classes, and is there something going on? I dropped out of college, I skipped all my classes, and I totally thought, this is it, I found the love of my life. But it wasn't a person. It was a video editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro. And as my love gave me the passion, I hustled my way to internships, got a job at a TV show, and the day my name flashed on US national TV saying, Editor Sahil Baweja, I knew this was it. I knew I had arrived. And I know what you're thinking. Was I the one to pave the way for Priyanka Chopra's Hollywood career? Of course, that was me. I'm kidding. But that's the passion and belief I had at the time. That's what I thought I would be doing. And I partnered with two of my friends to launch my first venture called, if this works, there we go, Chai TV, a content production company that was meant to enable the crossover between Hollywood and Bollywood. Now this is a pre-smartphone era, pre-YouTube era. Netflix and chill meant ordering a wish list online and waiting for DVDs to come by mail 5 days later. But we were everywhere. We ended up at Hollywood premieres, at top parties, at festivals, and we ultimately were able to create content gold, pure gold. From talking to Pierce Brosnan about Shashi Kapoor, to talking to rapper Lil Jon about Indian musicals, we had it all. But before we knew it, we had offers to be bought out. And that's when I wondered, is that success? Has my company become successful? Have you all achieved what we set out to do? And we had no idea. None of us had no idea. All three of us were at a loss. Because in this joyousness of early success, we had forgotten to sit down and build a company. We didn't have the acumen to figure all of this out. Ultimately, we all fell apart and we split the business. This stayed with me because I was never able to label my success or failure. And this conflict kind of drove me to my next career. Once I took my Chai TV money and I moved to Canada, and I finished my undergrad degree, joined a tech startup, wasn't for me at all. Didn't fit in at all. And my eagerness to get back to entrepreneurship, I rushed back into starting Masala Art, an art gallery and incubator with a fine dining Indian restaurant. We got off to a great start. I was great at selling my vision, raising funding. We came up with great art shows, made money through them, and had audacious inventions from cranberry samosas to saffron tequila. But then the 2008 recession hit, if some of you remember. It decimated the economy, and we had no way of surviving because we'd already committed to high rentals, a high-cost business model, and we were now trapped and limited by the recession and our early mistakes. But I was not one to give up. I made it my mission to convert this high-concept, fine-dining Indian art gallery into a lean, mean, quick-service restaurant. It took all of me. It drained me mentally, physically, emotionally. But I think the pragmatic approach helped me sell this restaurant to another local food chain. And I think it kind of taught me the lesson of perseverance. It took me a while to recover from Masala Art. I had to regain, I had to repower myself, I had to power up. So I decided to pursue an MBA. I went to INSEAD, and spending a year amongst the brightest minds of the world really made me think bigger. My dreams became bigger. And at the age of 30, I found my new motivation, pure, wild ambition. And that euphoria of ambition led us to open Now Capital. Now Capital was an investment fund, is still an investment fund that focuses on, you guessed it, building restaurants and media companies in the Indian market. My ambition drove me to create a wild portfolio, an eclectic portfolio from bringing international food chains into India to an IPL version of Polo and even a dating reality TV show on MTV. But now the focus had changed. I realized now it wasn't just about my journey, my survival, my goals, but rather adapting to the needs of the founders we were investing in, understanding what their survival kit needs are, how do they get by building their businesses. And that really brought in an internal change within me, wherein I realized I need to put in a lot more effort, I need to adapt, and I learned the importance of emotional management. Because I was always conflicted. I was grappling with this conflict between companies I was emotionally connected to and favored versus my fiduciary duties towards the fund, where I knew I had to drop the axe or make tough decisions. Growing Now Capital, it treated us very well, but it consumed me again. It took all of me in terms of my mental health, my physical health. I gained 30 kgs. I developed a very strong temper. I had very little patience. My social life, my family life, my business life, they all coalesced into one. And right then, when I had no way of knowing how will I get through this period, a solution presented itself. And through one of our portfolio companies, which was called Boombox. Boombox, a bar chain that we kind of intended to spread through all of Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets, starting with Lucknow. And you know, for an MBA graduate moving back from Los Angeles, France, and Singapore, and now ending up in Lucknow, running a liquor-forward business, was not easy. We had to traverse government licensing, local culture, difference of culture, sourcing local talent. So it became quite a challenging experience. And I realized, you know, the key lies in finding smart local partners who I could gel with. And that decision made Boombox the most valued investment I've ever made, and not in terms of money, but in realizing the value of successful and healthy partnerships. It taught me that we could build a business, we could grow a business when our visions are aligned, when our values are aligned, when our focus is aligned, and we grew Boombox to multiple cities, all while maintaining our well-being and happiness. So that was the best, I think, decision I ever made, is to learn healthy partnerships. After Boombox, unfortunately, again, COVID hit. But by the time COVID hit, we'd exited a lot of our big investments. But now we needed to, the future was uncertain, and we needed to figure out what next. I had already spotted the opportunity and recognized the potential in tier 2 and tier 3 markets. And I knew it was time to take specialty coffee to these high growth markets. COVID and the lockdown had pretty much made everybody, if you remember, a connoisseur of coffee. But we still needed a brand. We needed a story to tell. We needed to connect with the aspirations and energy of the young population. And thus was born Roadies Koffeehouz, which is the official coffee shop of the iconic TV show MTV Roadies. So with Roadies, we had early access to a lot of high growth markets. We entered Mohali, Ludhiana, Chandigarh, Navi Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Jalandhar, and these markets were booming. They did very well for us. But what we also realized is while building this business as an entrepreneur, I had to now not just become a business operator, but see how we'll scale the business and make it viable for all partners involved. And we quickly realized this would only be viable at a much larger scale. So we came up with the franchising business model. Now franchising brings a lot of new challenges. We had to become service providers, we had to build a large infrastructure team, and my role as an entrepreneur changed quite a bit. My dedication towards the business had to also now be focused on managing stakeholders, managing egos, managing how others perform. So my goals, my survival now rested on the survival of others' businesses, my franchisees. And as this business grows, my role continually evolves, and I'm happy about it. From managing supply chain through coffee farmers, to now learning for the first time on how to ride a bike to truly embody the roadie spirit. So as I look back on my journey of almost 25 years, I ask myself, am I successful? When are we successful? When do we get to declare we are successful? And by whose metrics? Who tells us that we are successful? Was I successful when I was at my creative peak at Chai TV, driven by passion? Or was it surviving the recession at Masala Art? Or was it making money at Now Capital, but losing my health? Or was it finding lifelong friendships in a passionate business like Boombox? When does Roadies Koffeehouz become successful? Does early access qualify? The early success qualify? The early finance success qualify? Or do we wait for some payoff? So whenever I struggle with this, I look back and reflect, and that process led me to come up with a tool that I developed. It's not a business metric tool, it's not to replace a financial metric tool, but it's something to figure out when you need to check if what you're seeking and what you're achieving align. And I like to call it your venture purpose statement. So what is the venture purpose statement? It's essentially a set of questions you can ask yourself and answer honestly. Honesty is key. So what are the questions you could ask? What's your deepest why to start this venture? Most people don't honestly answer that. Your favorite unique personal qualities about yourself. How do you enjoy expressing those qualities in your venture? What does the perfect version of this venture look like? And what does it stand for? How do you want the venture to make people feel? And people could be your employees, your customers, everybody. And how do you want the venture to make you feel? And I'll share an example with you. So if you guys can read, it says, to prove my expertise, I want to use my creativity and passion to scale a business that stands for innovation and stability, makes my team feel proud, customers respected, and me calm and energized. So this is a statement I have made, but I didn't tell you which venture it is for. And to tell you the truth, this is a statement that I gave. This entire pitch, in fact, this entire talk was my pitch to Sunny Leone when I met her and she asked me what would make me a great entrepreneur, what would make me qualify to become her partner, and how would we together traverse the tricky hospitality business. And this is the story I told her. I told her my venture statement, the venture purpose statement. And who better to understand redefining success, redefining your ambitions, redefining your journey than Sunny Leone. There you go. So Chica Loca has been a dream project, and every venture I ever did led me to this achievement or to this goal I had of accomplishing this. I would encourage everybody to use these stories, use this journey, and come up with their own venture statements. Your venture purpose statement is a reflection of your ability to learn, to reflect, the ability to balance what is important to you, be it health, wealth, glory, and unless you are aligned and in sync with your deepest why and your innermost passion, you will always struggle. So I hope this story has been helpful, and I wish you great luck on your adventure and a joyous journey. Thank you.